All right, welcome. This is Decision Games, War in Europe, second edition, and we are playing the France40 scenario, coming down to the wire. Initially, we're going to start with the turn 5 Allied move. They don't have any attacks, so that'll go rather quickly, and then we'll move into the turn 6 German turn, also in this recording. So, go ahead and get started here, and like I said, we'll jump in right where the Allies are. The big thing is in Paris. They had three French armored divisions that got reduced, and I looked, and up to now turn 6, the French got a total of 7 mech replacements. Let's see if it shows it here. Yeah, they got the 7 this turn with another mech replacement. I could go and look at the turn track, but that means they can burn 2 mech replacements, which they do, which then makes 2 of the 6 sixes come back to full strength, because Paris is a supply source also. Unfortunately, that's not quite enough to save Paris. We'll see. But if they could get all 3, then potentially it would have saved Paris, at least until the last turn. But they burn their mech replacements there. Then movement, they move this motor mechanized infantry, the 3-6, but it's only got 1 step, into Paris to give them up to a 16 defensive factor. These guys can't move in, not enough movement points Zoc to Zoc, would have been nice. And then they just start shifting more of these forces over here to form a line. Now, interesting situation here with the Brits. We'll see with the Vichy rolls, depending on how many full-strength divisions they have, it can adjust the Vichy roll. So right now, the British goal is to keep these guys intact for the Vichy rolls this turn potentially, the beginning of their next turn or maybe the last turn. So I don't know, it would be unrealistic to hide in Brittany. I don't know. But what we did do is the Brits will form up behind this river here and then use these guys as a screen. Now, thinking maybe in hindsight this guy should have pulled back one, but we'll see. Or maybe this guy could have gone further here instead of leaving him to reinforce the French here. But at least these will assure a +2 die roll on the Vichy every 3 full strength. So if the Germans can't reduce these, they get their +2. Getting one of these over, don't know if that would have been an advantage. I'll have to look. I don't think the Brits get replacements this game, so probably won't make a difference. So this is the situation at the end of the Allied turn. Like I said, we'll see it in the German turn, but unfortunately the 2 6-6s were reduced down to 1 6s, not 2 6s. If they went down to 2 6s, they'd have it, but with 2 1 6s, that's 2. And the Germans need 26 to overrun, and there it is right there. So Paris will probably fall next turn, but let's go ahead and pull that up here. I'll be right back. Okay, here we have turn 6 starting, and done the TAC air commit. You can see the Germans commit 10 to air superiority, and then these will be for combat support and or interdiction. I've also combined with it. This is a reinforcement for this turn, so that's not able to be used. So with 10, and then the Allies have 9, so the Germans double up on this, and it's 1-to-1s here. And I rolled the dice, and the Allies rolled 9. Well, they didn't roll any 1s. And the Germans did roll a 2 here for the first one, and they rolled another 1 here. So, again, the Allied air power is on the down after their, well, it wasn't, totally even exchange last turn, but it was pretty bloody. But the French are going to lose 1, and the Brits are going to lose 1. And the Germans then have their remaining forces for combat support. I almost replaced these, and I realized if these guys are here, then I lose moving these guys up. So I didn't do think I did one German infantry replacement. Yeah, right here. But I kept the rest in the bank. So there we go. And that leads us now into the German initial move. And we'll see what they do. All right, this is a combination of the German initial move, their attacks, and the dice roll. And we'll see in the next one the resolution. If we come down here with the Commonwealth stuck along here, they're going to be 12-1 to 4 of these. So this one's going away. They pulled these units out of the way so they can move up 4, 6, 5s. And they got just enough factors between these 4 stacks to get a 6-1 on the 16. So that'll be a 6-1. And then they just moved up here. They're going to attack the French screen here. And they've positioned some mech units here to potentially blow through. Maybe they can get as far as Le Mans. We'll see. And we do have die roll results, and they rolled well. They got a half exchange here, but that's why I included the infantry unit in this attack stack. It'll take the factors, but they did actually 6-1 on 6 +1 as a DE. So the 2 full-strength armored divisions are going to flip to 1/6s, but unfortunately that's not enough. Got 30 factors here coming right across the open plains, no river. So the 3 Panzer Divisions are going to move in and overrun what's left of the French armor. Kind of figured out how this played out. Maybe the last turn with the big battles on the approaches to Paris, a lot of infantry losses. But now as the Germans are coming to Paris proper, who knows, maybe at some point the French surrendered, declared open cities, so Paris didn't get destroyed. Otherwise it would have been, wow, a lot of armored battles in the streets of Paris here. Would have been messy. So, all right, let's go to the combat results, see what that looks like. All right, and as I mentioned here, the combat results, no more BEF now in northwest France. It's been removed. And then Paris is down to these 2 1/6s. But on the mech move, the Germans can overrun 30-2, 15-1, definitely more than 13-1. So they're in. There's the loss, and then these guys moved up in preparation. Right, they can't get very far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 because of that river. So these guys can't get far, but I think these guys can at least move up some. So we'll see how that plays out in the mech move. So let's go ahead and take a look at the German mech move. All right, here we are with the German mech move. And actually the 8/8s were able to push way forward because they didn't start in Zoch. 10/8s moved up here, and then we brought these extra Panzer Divisions here on the northern side of Paris up here. What they're doing here is obviously separating the French and the British, but hopefully they're trying to set up next turn, if necessary, to go after these British units. Without any more French units left on this side to screen them, these British units are exposed. And put the air interdicts back here to try and slow them down. And then, as predicted here, 3 German Panzer Divisions roll into Paris. Whether they overran the remaining French tanks in this Paris or they surrendered and declared an open city, who knows, but the Germans have now taken Paris on turn 6. Now that's where we pull up the rules, and I didn't do this roll yet. I purposely saved this. But basically, let's see if I can clean up my screen here a little. Just a minute, bear with me. Yeah, let's take a look at this here. These are the rules around forming Vichy. And here it is at the beginning of any Allied player turn. Finds Paris occupied by a supplied Axis ground combat unit. Allied player must roll a die. Add 1 for every 3 full-strength Commonwealth divisions present. So they're going to add 2. And on a 1 through 5, Vichy is established. So it's a 50-50 shot. Game could end right here, with Vichy being established. So let me pull up my online dice roller, and we'll do this live. Okay, I am rolling 2 dice to represent next turn. The only thing that can change between this turn and next turn is the Brits potentially lose, well, they can lose up to 3 or get reduced 3 divisions. So that would, then they would only add 1. So I'm just curious. Just do it all here. So this is this turn. So a 1 to 3 on this die, and Vichy forms. And let's say a 1 to 4 on this die, and Vichy forms. So this is it. The game reduced to 2d6. Oh, Vichy forms. Vichy forms on both turns. Yeah, right here. I don't even have to worry about this die roll, although that's a killer. Yeah, that's 3. And then they have 6. So there's 3 full strength divisions. They add 2, but that's a 5. And on a 1 through 5, Vichy is established. So there we go. This is the end. Vichy is established. Now, if I was playing the campaign, the question is how to get these guys out of here, okay? And I'm thinking emergency transport, the only real way to do it, let me zoom out, is Cherbourg. And just barely, I think the range is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, Dunkirk, I think it was. Yeah, that's easy. 1, 2. Here it's kind of long. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I believe the emergency transport is not affected either. And I think he can move. So, you know, just as an experiment here, see who has movement to get there. Like this guy would go, he's got nobody next to him. 1, 2, 3. He could get to Cherbourg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He could get to it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Should have put these guys here. My bad. So that gets 3 of them out of there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's the most they can get there. And then they do 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This guy's a problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that would be the British evacuation right there. Probably put this guy, you know, the French, I guess, will give cover. I don't know how much cover they can give. Probably go here. No other Frenchies can get there. So that's it. They'll extricate 4 of these. And these are potentially 1, 2, 3. Well, these 2 could get attacked, so they may not get those 2 out. So in this case, it wouldn't be Dunkirk because that force got destroyed here. Dunkirk got taken. Instead, they'd be talking about Cherbourg. So that's it. Vichy has formed, and the Germans have won on a 50-50 die roll at the end of turn 6. But they would have had another die roll at the end of turn 7, too. Now, real quick to learn the rules here. Emergency transport. Type of naval. Emergency transport is conducted in the same manner as naval, except for the following. Need not have begun the friendly turn at a friendly port. Instead, the unit need only begin the sea movement phase, which comes after the regular movement phase. So it may move to a port during initial movement. This is the only case where a unit attempting sea may participate like this. Path of sea or coastal hex may not exceed 4 hexes. And it's not subject to air-sea interdiction. And it is reduced to a battle group. So these guys, 1, 2, 3. Wow, that's just barely. They can escape, and then they will be flipped, which is easier with replacements. Now, would these guys be able to make it out? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, the Germans are gonna. The Germans are here. They're gonna make them. These 2 will probably be reduced to battle groups. This one's gonna be harder to get to, but maybe they could rack them up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, they can't. So this guy's doing a good job of blocking these infantry, so it would have to be an all-mech affair. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They could load up 40 here. Maybe they could bag one of them. Oh, all they have to do is bag one of them. And then in mech move, take Cherbourg. So these two are effectively lost. So the BEF only is able to expurgate 4 of their divisions. They've lost all the rest, including the armored division. So there we go. Much looks like greater losses than in real life. So the British are in a tougher position. But that ends it. Game over. And I will say I used the historical rules, which made it a shorter battle, but it seemed to parallel history in some sense, which is interesting. That this kind of did that, and getting a better feel for the rules now, at least the operational level rules. We haven't looked at the strategic. We did an airborne drop, which failed on Eben and Al for the Germans. And yeah, here we've used emergency transport just much further down, not Dunkirk, because the Germans grabbed it, unlike in real life. Probably some mistakes made, but in the end, this felt historical. So this was, I think this was a success. My next one, probably going to go for the big one. I looked at North Africa, and the problem there is they both start out with 10 air power, and I'm kind of fudging the air power because I can't, do the bluffing or whatever. Maybe I could come up with a rolling solo system, or maybe somebody's figured that out. But if I go to Barbarossa, first turn there is no air power. The German Luftwaffe is busy destroying all the Soviets. And then when the game starts, the Germans have like 20 air and the Russians have 3. So they're probably not going to go up in the air. So air power is not something to worry about. But it is a vast front to fight on. So definitely expanding it here. I think it's 20 turns also. So coming over here, you'll see these are scans of the map. That's why I don't have complete. But yeah, this is Lithuania, Latvia. Yeah, we got Prussia, we got Poland. So it'll start here, and that's a good chunk of territory. There's Leningrad, Moscow. Down here too, Crimea. So I'm thinking that's the next one. And that probably the good part of that too is it forces me to start building out the Soviet pieces to set that up. So that's the plan next. But if you followed along, thanks for listening. France40 is over, and we're going to move probably into June of 41, June 22nd, 1941. And we're going to do Barbarossa next. So, big excitement. Anyway, thanks for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you at the next one.